Welcome back to the news at 10. The Kaduna state government is rehabilitating some federal roads in the state capital, Kaduna. State authorities say the intervention is to ensure that road users within the state have better intra-city movement. The roads are the Nnamdi Azikiwe Western Bypass and the Ahmadu Bello Way.
This is Kagoro Junction along the Nnamdi Azikiwe Western Bypass in Kaduna State. The road is in a deplorable condition with some portions of it washed away by the rains. Residents say the 20-kilometer road which connects Zaria, Kano and other neighboring states has been abandoned by FERMA.
We have been suffering a lot on this road. We are the residents of this area. We know how motorists are suffering because as a result of this bad road, many cars are broken down.
The road is already decayed, and we know it's not the fault of this government because this government is new.
Now there's excitement from residents and commuters following the commencement of rehabilitation work on the road by the State Public Works Agency. According to the agency's general manager, over 100 roads in the state capital Zaria and Kafanchan will undergo similar repairs.
The reason why the state government come in because the road is unmotorable, which is a federal road. And since the road has passed the state, so the state government decided that Kapwa, as a maintenance agency for all the state roads, that we should mobilize our equipment and our staff to come here and make sure we rectify the problems.
To ensure timely completion of the project, the excited youth in the area are rendering assistance to the state government officials.
The initial occupants of this community, we said we should also work hand in hand with them so that we'll also help them so that we'll achieve the goal because it's for our own good. It's not really for their own good, and we are very, very grateful.
With the official handover of the Nnamdi Azikiwe Western Bypass and Ahmadu Bello Road by the federal government to the Kaduna state government, residents hope that constant interventions such as this by Kapwa will keep the roads safe and durable.
To legal matters now, the Court of Appeal sitting in Lagos today set aside the judgment of a Lagos High Court which banned students in public primary and secondary schools in the state from wearing the head covering hijab with their school uniforms. In his lead judgment, Justice Gumel held that the use of hijab is an Islamic injunction and also an act of worship. He says it will constitute a violation of the appellant's rights to stop them from wearing it in public schools. Justice Modupe Onyabo of an Ikeja High Court had on October the 17th, 2014, dismissed the suit instituted against the Lagos state government by two 12-year-old girls under the aegis of the Muslim Student Society of Nigeria.
The judgment is that the right of a Muslim female student, whether in primary, secondary or tertiary institution, to wear the hijab as an act of ibadah, as an act of practice of Islam, is guaranteed constitutionally, and no government or any authority has the right to infringe or has the authority to infringe on that right. That's the summary of it.
And after 2 decades of boundary disputes between Wakama community and Boho community in Tai local government area in Rivers State, residents and some community leaders have renewed calls for a peaceful resolution of the crisis. On our big story tonight, our correspondent Emmanuel Ere takes a look at efforts being made to restore peace.
This is Boho community in Tai local government area in Rivers State, with a population of over 5,000 persons. But as we speak, not a single individual is seen on the road. Homes destroyed. The entire place is deserted owing to invasion by gunmen. And the cause of the attack is still unclear to many of the residents. A drive through the communities revealed the extent of destruction. Broken roofs, abandoned homes overtaken by weeds, with bullet fragments scattered on the road. Not even the tree that the people say represents the ancestral heritage of over 100-year-old is spared. Some community leaders and other concerned citizens are here again, as the reality of the destruction stares them on the face. This is Borobara community, where we understand that the thousands of persons that were displaced in Bogo community are currently taking refuge, and the people are calling on the relevant authorities to help restore peace to their area. Gathered in this room are some of the affected persons in dire need of relief materials. Outside, they narrate their ordeal.
About 3 months ago, we saw armed men that came to our place and chased us out of the place. And we've been hearing that they will still come to this place to kill us. Some time ago, they came in here and killed 7 persons. This time around, they came and killed this young man. This family is still grieving over the loss of their breadwinner, Ernest Akpala, a police inspector. July 18, 2015, leaders and representatives of Wakama and Bogo communities converged on the headquarters of the police command in the state to sue for peace. One of the spokesmen told Channels Television that the matter can be resolved.
It is a matter the both communities can just sit down and settle themselves. It's just that they were not able to address their youths on the issue.
For this man, peace is yet to return to the communities.
If we, the people of Ogubolo local government or people of Wakama, kills a man that comes from Bogo, Bogo is part of Thai local government, and the man that comes from Bogo kills the man that comes from Ogubolo local government, it's nothing, nobody has won. The truth is that we'll keep on killing ourselves, and these communities will not be developed.
The government says the issues will be brought to the table.
The people need to sit down and know that nobody will go with land. When we talk about protection by discrimination, you talk of life before you talk of property. And land is property. Without life, can you have property? The answer is no.
This Port Harcourt-based lawyer believes, though, that there can be no lasting peace in the communal crisis without justice.
People want to see justice done. People want to see equity and fairness at play. You cannot take my land, especially when they are related to land, in relation to this particular conflict. It never goes away. You must find out who actually owns the land and restore that ownership. Once it is not done properly, and let people know that a solution has actually been found, or that the rightful owner of the land has taken his land, the problems will never go away.
The Wakamak-Bogo crisis, many say, can become a good example of how an age-long communal dispute can be resolved with purposeful government intervention. For the big story, Emmanuel Erei, Channels Television News.
Let's take a look at some business news now. Here's Melinda Akinlami.
You first. First Bank.
Many thanks, Joma. Welcome to Business News. The United Nations Conference on Trade and Development has warned that the debt profile of some African countries may no longer be sustainable. In a report put together by the United Nations subsidiary and launched today in Lagos, the advisory body has told policymakers to find new ways of financing projects.
The external debt stock of an average African country grew by 7.8% per year between 2006 and 2009. The figure further rose by 22% of gross national income to $443 billion in 2013. And with domestic debts of most African states doubling between 1995 and 2013, the need to checkmate each nation's debt profile becomes significant. To drive home this point, a report put together by UNCTAD is launched through the sister agency. the United Nations Information Center. Experts here explain that the debt ratios of most African countries have deteriorated into hurdles for the Sustainable Development Goals.
We estimate that Africa will need between 600 billion and $1.2 trillion every year if we are going to achieve the global goals, the 17 Sustainable Development Goals.
9 out of 39 African countries where we have data are classified as debt distress or high risk category. Okay? The low risk is about 10, moderate risk 20, high risk about 7, debt crisis 2.
The report, however, recommended an alternative means of financing for Africa.
Foster domestic financial deepening to enhance domestic resources and attract diaspora savings.
UNCTAD's report is coming weeks after Fitch Ratings warnings that Nigeria's debt-to-revenue ratio may rise 259% higher than the 223% median in 2016, a trend that analysts want policymakers to watch closely.
To some company news now, Flour Mills of Nigeria has reported a 49% increase in pre-tax profit from 7.7 billion naira to 11.49 billion naira in its 2015 report. According to the company, its revenue grew by 11%, while profit after tax rose to 14.4 billion naira from 8.4 billion. The company says despite the economic challenges in 2015, the strong improvement in revenue was driven by volume growth and efficiency gains. Downturn on the equities market as the all-share index fell below the 28,000 mark. Bolaji Akinwale tells us more about today's trading session.
Hello and welcome to the Stock Market Report. It's now 4 sessions that the local stock market has been trading on the negative path this week in reaction to persistent sell-off by investors. The all-share index fell by another 0.79%, while the market's capitalization reduced to 9.61 trillion naira. The load shedding on the market was characterized by losses from 34 equities led by Owando, Diamond Bank and Transcorp. Only 6 stocks recorded price gains, and Skybank again was the major gainer, as well as the most actively traded stock for the day. At the close of trading, a total of 227.1 million shares, valued at 1.8 billion naira, changed hands in 3,426 deals. And that's it on the Stock Market Report. I am Bolaji Akinwale.
The closing numbers for global stocks are mixed today amid reports of a larger than expected stimulus plan from Japan to Europe. That wraps it up on Business News. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Melinda Akinwami.
You first. First Bank.
The Victim Support Fund has rebuilt 39 public buildings destroyed by insurgents in Dikwa, local government of Borno State. Chairman of the Presidential Victim Support Fund, General Theophilus Danjuma, commissioned the new buildings worth 250 million naira. General Danjuma says that this will enable internally displaced persons presently living in camps resettle in their hometown.
Within the last 1 year, the Victim Support Fund has been providing support for displaced persons in the northeast who are victims of insurgency. The biggest project undertaken by the Victim Support Fund in Borno State is the rebuilding of government infrastructure for resettling IDPs from camp to Dikwa Township. General Theophilus Danjuma was received by Governor Kashim Shettima at the Maiduguri International Airport, from where they drove to the ancient town of Dikwa, where the projects were commissioned.
There's no town anywhere that is built by government. It's the people who build their homes. But these people are destitute. We eventually will have to use the same method as we are doing now to rehabilitate public buildings. Use the same method to rehabilitate the individual.
Still ahead on the news at 10, Russian track and field athletes remain banned from the 2016 Rio Olympics following claims the country ran a state-sponsored doping program. That's on sports.